A mom in Kentucky is behind bars, charged with murdering her two young sons. We're talking with Colonel Alex Payne, chief deputy at the sheriff's office, about the investigation so far. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A horrible situation to talk to you about right now in Kentucky. A 32-year-old woman, Tiffanie Lucas, is accused of shooting her own children. Bullitt County deputies arrived at a home in Shepherdsville, that's south of Louisville, around 11 a.m. on Wednesday. And that is where two boys, ages 6 and 9, were shot. A neighbor reportedly found the children with gunshot wounds in a bedroom, called 911. The boys were taken by ambulance to a children's hospital with a police escort, but they both died. The Bullitt County judge set a $2 million bond for Lucas on Thursday, saying that she is a danger to others. Lucas is charged with 2 counts of murder. She's going to be back in court next week. I want to bring in right now a very special guest to talk about this. One of the members of the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office, Colonel Alex Payne, chief deputy at the Sheriff's Office, is with us. Colonel, thank you so much for taking the time. Really difficult case. I really just want to start off, how is the community reacting to this? How is the family of the boys reacting to this?
As you would expect, in shock, a lot of grief, horrific act, just as you would expect any community, I guess, across this country to react to something like this. It's shocking. It's something that you never want to confront, but unfortunately we have. However, we have a strong community here in Bullitt County, and they're supporting the loved ones, the family of these young children.
In your career in this community, have you ever seen anything like this?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I want to get into it, try to understand it. First, let's start from the beginning. How was there a witness that told police that Lucas did this?
There, we have a witness that was located there on scene. We're still into that part of the investigation. We'll still be hammering that out, but there were statements evidently that were made there on scene. To our recollection right now, the individual that is responsible basically went next door to a neighbor's house, and was eventually, there was a husband and a wife there, and she was actually in their driveway, laying down in their driveway when they came across her. And the husband ended up going inside the house, locating the boys, and immediately coming out and calling 911. And that's when the police and EMS response occurred.
This witness was in the house when the shooting took place? Was this person injured at all? No.
There's no, as far as we know right now, there's actually, to our knowledge, at this point right now, no actual witness to the shooting itself.
Okay, because I think there was some reporting as almost this person was an eyewitness to the shooting. That wouldn't be accurate.
No, it would not.
But this person does have knowledge about what happened.
Yes, they do.
First responders immediately come. They try to save the life. The boys died on the way to the, directly at the hospital. I mean, was there any chance? How severe were the wounds? If you could tell us, were they shot multiple times? Just trying to get a sense of what happened to them.
I can tell you this: the boys were shot in an area that would not be survivable for anybody. However, they were alive, to the best of our knowledge, when they were transported by EMS to the hospital and passed away while at the hospital.
And they weren't able to say anything, right?
No.
Were they shot multiple times?
That's yet to be determined. There's that'll come out during the autopsy, so I don't want to say.
Sure.
Without actually having that factual information in front of me, which I don't. But it wouldn't surprise me. But like I said, I don't. I can't factually state that right now.
Has the weapon been recovered? Has it been analyzed?
There was evidence there that it was recovered at the scene, and again, that's part of the ongoing investigation. All of that evidence will be analyzed.
So, in other words, and I know you're limited in what you can say, but the actual home is being processed for evidence currently.
has been. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Are there any other areas that you're looking at?
Not right now. No, sir. Everything appears at this point in time to have been contained right there inside that home at that address.
Colonel, you know what I'm going to ask you, because I think it's what everybody's wondering. Why would this have happened? If she killed her children, what would be a potential motive? Have you unearthed anything?
No, we really, as far as our responsibility, and you know this, from law enforcement, we're responsible actually for the criminal investigation itself, and then being the best witnesses that we can possibly be for the information that we put forward to the prosecutor. So, motive sometimes can be a byproduct, but I can tell you now, in my 40 plus years of being in this line of work, there are three things that I've seen, and it can be these things individually, or it can be these things in combination. You can have a individual who is suffering from some type of mental illness. You can have an individual who has some type of substance abuse problem, or that individual can simply be just that evil, or it can be a combination of those things. I haven't seen any other outliers other than those three. And so right now, I guess it's, anybody's guess as to which one of those she covers.
So there's no evidence at this point about which of those, those paths she might have gone down if she did this.
No, not right now. Not that I know of.
What do we know about her? Do we know anything about her relationship with her children?
That'll come out, and you know how these things go.
Yeah.
We respond there. This is the first time we've come across these people, this family, these neighbors, and it's under these horrific circumstances that we have to basically turn back time. From the time that we arrive on the scene to basically recreating the last moments of the lives of those young boys, and then start digging into all of their lives, and just kind of turning everything back and putting it together as best we can. So this early in the investigation, that's, we really, we will learn, as we go forward, but right now there's not just a whole lot.
Let me just take a step back here, Colonel, and just to make sure, the evidence right now, and it is early in the investigation, it points to Tiffanie Lucas, right? There's nothing else that would suggest someone else did this.
You're right. Yeah, there's nothing else. There's nothing else that points to anyone else.
Has anybody been calling in saying, hey, listen, now that this happened, I know some more information about Tiffanie Lucas. I know something about the kids. Anybody, you've been getting tips at all?
To my knowledge, no. We've spoken with family members, of course, those that, have reached out to us, and those that we've located through. But other than that, other than just going through a normal investigative process, as far as contacting everybody that we can get information on, family members, things like that we can contact, we're putting that together. And then when all of that is done, we'll have a more comprehensive idea of what that family dynamic was like.
What has the family said about this, if you can share?
They're the same way that the vast majority of the community is, or all of the community, to my knowledge. And they're in shock. They're extremely they're torn up. They're I can't believe it. You get the comments like that. I can't believe this happened. It's unreal to them, which is common in these things. And that's the reaction that at least that I've been getting from them.
Miss Lucas doesn't have a criminal record or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. No, sir.
What about the father of the children? Do we know anything about him?
I believe one father is deceased. I believe another father has been out of the picture for quite some time. And without going into a whole lot of detail on those, that's about the extent of that.
Again, I know that you can't say much, but when Lucas was brought into custody, did officers have a chance to speak to her at all?
No, that's something that we don't do initially.
Right.
Until we Mirandize that individual, until we start. And then, of course, detectives. She was taken away from that scene, brought to one of our facilities, and interviewed there. And during that time, and we avoid any conversations, any questions, anything like that. So there was none of that until the detectives got there and then went about the proper process of that interview and interrogation.
Anything you could tell us about that interrogation?
No, sir, not right now. Unfortunately, no.
I understand. We saw that apparently Lucas had posted on her Facebook as recently as Halloween, showing her and the boys in, I think, Star Wars costumes. That was particularly chilling, how you go from that to now the situation we have here and what she's accused of. Did you have a chance to see that?
I did, and some other, other photographs with the children. But yeah, it's just it's horrible.
My understanding is she has a preliminary hearing scheduled for November 14th. If you can, what can we expect from that?
That'll be up to the courts. Like I said, as far as what we control the investigation. So that's what we're doing. We're putting together all that material. That investigation itself will be presented to a Commonwealth attorney, who then will make the decision to probably put that before a grand jury. A grand jury will consider all the evidence that's presented there and decide to indict or not. And then the case will go forward from there. It's just the typical judicial process that'll be taking place. And we don't have any control of that, of course. That's just the courts. At this point in time, will be the best witnesses for the case that we put forward as we possibly can.
Do you think that this is going to be a rather complex investigation, or at this point, do you feel like you have almost everything you might need here?
You never can tell. I mean,
Right.
Right now, you're going to get what you're going to get, and right now we're trying to gather everything that we possibly can, that we have knowledge of, to put together as part of our investigation to present to the Commonwealth.
Colonel, before I let you go, any message to the community, any message to our viewers or listeners about how they can help here? Anything that they can do to further the investigation or try to understand what happened here?
We have a tip line, and people in the community in Bullitt County are actually very good at utilizing that, and we have a very good relationship with the people of Bullitt County. And they know, all they have to do is come forward if there is anything that they may have, which in this particular case, I don't know what that would be, but if they think it is of some importance, even minor things, I don't believe anyone would hesitate, due to the circumstances in this case, of coming forward and contacting someone from this office to help us out.
Colonel Alex Payne, thank you so much. I know this is a difficult time. It's rocked your community. It has clearly rocked that family. Appreciate you giving us a little bit more insight into what's happening, and we're definitely going to continue to follow it. This is a really bad one, and I know this one. I speak to officers all the time, and I know for me personally, but it's the crimes against children that are the ones that are the toughest and the ones that stay with you. So appreciate the work that you do, and thank you, and good luck on the investigation.
Sir. All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll speak to you next time.